Welcome back. We are at page 88. There are many different ways that scientists try to test the age of the Earth. There are probably 500 or 600 ways to try to show the age of the Earth. It is a very difficult thing to do conclusively. If a few of the methods to date the Earth give old ages, but others give an age that is only a few thousand years old, as many do, then you have a dilemma. You must decide which you want to accept. Because many scientists want to believe evolution, they will, of course, select a few that seem to indicate great ages and ignore the evidence that indicate a young age of the Earth. Taking only evidence that supports a preconceived idea and rejecting all other evidence is not very intelligent or scientific. I will give just a few of the ways to show that the Earth and solar system are young. I have a list put out by Henry Morris of the Institute for Creation Research, a list of 76 things that show the age of the Earth to be very young. Here are just a few of the evidences of a young Earth given by Dr. Morris. 1. The influx of cosmic dust to the Earth indicates that the Earth is less than 10,000 years old. Most of this dust is washed into the soil. This cosmic dust comes from outer space, contains a high percentage of nickel. Scientists have searched and searched for nickel content in the Earth's crust. The amount of nickel is not great enough to account for billions of years. It only accounts for several thousand years. For instance, the influx of helium-4 into the atmosphere indicates something less than 175,000 years. 2. Radiometric decay produces helium, which has to escape into the atmosphere. By measuring the helium content in the atmosphere, we conclude there could not have been radioactive decay for billions of years, because there isn't enough helium in the atmosphere. The percentage of helium in the atmosphere indicates a very young Earth. Evolutionists are searching for a way for the helium to escape into outer space to eliminate this evidence for a young Earth. So far, no method has been found. Another evidence that the Earth is young is the fact that there are still meteors and comets flying through space. We know that comets and meteors break up and decay as they pass through the solar system. We have never seen one formed, that is, get bigger or larger. We have seen many break up and fall apart. As comets circle around the solar system, they come close to the Earth or different planets. The gravitational forces of these planets break pieces off the comets, and they fragment or fall apart. How long could a comet circle through our solar system before it could disintegrate or run into a planet? Several astronomers have said that 10,000 years is the longest a comet could survive going through our solar system and time again, like Halley's Comet does every 70 years, before it would disappear. If this figure is correct, why do we still have comets? The fact that we have comets all indicates that the Earth is still very young. Scientists that have analyzed this problem have come up with the comet bank theory. They speculate that somewhere in outer space there is a bank of comets. Every once in a while something will check some out and distribute them throughout the universe. I'm making fun of them, of course. This is not exactly what they believe. They say that the comets are supplied from another source. They don't know what that source is, but we keep getting comets because of this comet bank. The very existence of short-period comets is one of the proofs of a young Earth. Another evidence that the Earth is young is the fact that the Earth's spin is gradually diminishing. The diminishing spin is very minor. Just a second a century we are losing. 1 second per day per century is not significant in a short time frame of only a few thousand years. If you interpret that over billions of years, however, it would mean that the Earth was spinning so fast that no life could have been possible due to the shorter days, centrifugal force, earthquakes, and high winds created. The declining spin of the Earth is another fact that indicates a young Earth. The Earth's magnetic field is declining. Dr. Thomas G. Bonds, a professor of physics at the University of Texas in El Paso, claims that the Earth's declining magnetic field is a powerful indication that the Earth is extremely young. He is considered by many to be one of the world's experts on the subject. His studied opinion is that this bit of scientific data would limit the Earth's age to less than 25,000 years. If we can prove that the Earth is young, only 6,000 or 7,000 years old, that really means ends the argument of evolution. Evolutionists will fight tooth and nail to be able to hold to the faulty idea that the Earth is billions and billions of years old. When a number of scientific attempts to establish some kind of age for the Earth prove that the Earth is really very young, reasonable people should accept the facts. Of course, evolutionists would jump at anything that would indicate the Earth is billions and billions of years old because it is such a vital part of their theory. Someone would say, what about stars? We know that they are billions of light years away. I don't want to sound like a crackpot, but actually we don't know that the stars are billions of light years away. There are 2, maybe 3 methods of determining how far away the stars are. One of these methods is just simple trigonometry. However, when you get to extremely minute angles, it is very difficult to measure anything less than a couple of arc seconds accurately. You cannot measure distances accurately more than 60 to 100 light years away. Not 60 to 100 million light years, just 60 to 100 light years. The other method that is used is called the redshift method. We will discuss this in more detail later. How old is the Earth? I believe that the Earth is only 6,000 to 7,000 years old. I taught high school science for 14 years, and for 3 years taught college-level science. I'm convinced that much of our modern science, especially related to evolution, is an absolute joke. We are in the same position as the people in the days before Columbus, when people were teaching that the Earth was flat, or when they taught the doctrine of humors or draining blood to cure illnesses, and many other wrong conclusions of science. They were very wrong. Science has a long history of being dogmatically wrong. I believe that one of the areas in science and the Bible that needs to be restudied is the critical issue of the age of the Earth. This will prove to be the undoing of the doctrine of evolution. The hypothesis of evolution has had preeminence in our public teaching for about the last 30 to 40 years. Darwin's book published in 1860 really started the controversy going. There have been groups teaching evolution for several thousand years. The Egyptians taught a form of evolution, saying that life evolved from the slime along the Nile River. Today we trace our modern evolutionary movement to Darwin. Darwin's book became almost universally accepted within 10 years of its release in 1860. Toward the end of the 19th century, it was extremely difficult to combat this teaching of evolution. Archaeological finds were not complete, and Darwin claimed that there were thousands of intermediate species between the major kinds we find today. He said that it was a matter of time before these missing links were dug up. It has been 130 years now, and the missing links are still missing. I believe that the Earth is young, and Darwin's theory is not only unscientific, it is absolutely stupid. To believe that all of this complicated life and this complicated universe came about just by the random shaking of molecules demands an awful lot more faith than I have. I believe the Earth was created in 6 literal days, not eons or epochs of time like the Living Bible says in the notes given in Genesis 1. It says that each day was a period of time. There is no evidence of that, and Ken Taylor needs to re-examine the evidence for that. I believe that the current teaching of evolution is going on in our public schools and universities has spawned a great number of social evils. For instance, communism is a direct offshoot of evolution. If a frog turns into a prince instantaneously, we call that a miracle or fairy tale. But if that frog turns into a prince very slowly, taking 300 or 400 million years to make the transition, we will teach that in our universities as scientific fact.